Overwatch has seen a steady stream of content, getting near monthly patches, rotating arcade game types, and of course these glorious new maps. We're jumping in and taking a look back at these sometimes subtle, sometimes not so subtle Easter eggs on the Overwatch maps, that is the ones released since launch. Hi, I'm Alpha Lance with the Leaderboard. Remember to subscribe and click the bell icon to join our notification squad. The picturesque world of Blizzard World. Blizzard World is like one giant Easter egg filled with even smaller Easter eggs. It's the fever dream of Blizzard fanboys and fangirls. While references in Overwatch to other Blizzard games have been tucked away for avid players to uncover, this map unapologetically reminds you of every Blizzard title in existence. But hey, we're not complaining. There's so much to uncover in this map, it'll need its own video to break down all the different references more in depth. And don't worry, we've got one coming, but we'll start off with some highlights. For starters, the map has several areas of the park dedicated to major titles such as StarCraft, Warcraft, Hearthstone, Diablo, Heroes of the Storm, who all get their own rides and stands. Some are outside of the play area, such as Tyrael's Fall, a reference to the Diablo character Tyrael and his fall to Sanctuary after becoming mortal. Others you can wander through yourself, like the Flight of Duskwood ride, named after Duskwood, an Alliance-affiliated area in World of Warcraft. Then there's the smaller references to older titles and expansions of yesteryear, such as The Lost and Found Vikings, which shouts out to one of Blizzard's first video games, The Lost Vikings, and Black Rock Mountain, a Warcraft expansion. All throughout the map are punny references, like the menu item for a basket of chicken labeled Deathwings, which references the character Deathwing, a fiery dragon who made his return in World of Warcraft's third expansion, Cataclysm. And you can't miss the statues of various World of Warcraft heroes. Keep an eye out for the StarCraft action figures for sale and various Blizzard game themed backpacks.
Sombra has the high score of 9,999 in the Heroes of the Storm themed Heroes Arcade.
Heck, even Room 131, which can be found outside of Stormwind Gates, is a reference to Blizzard Entertainment's address at 131 Theory, Irvine, California. You're basically tripping over Easter eggs on this map and you don't even know it, so tune in to our next video where we will explore this map much more in depth and get more of those Easter eggs. But for now, let's take a trip around the world and check out some of the other maps that Blizzard has given us since Overwatch's release. Take a trip to France to visit relaxing Chateau Guillard, known to be home to Amelia Lacroix, formerly Amelia Guillard, but better known as Widowmaker. Chateau Guillard is the ancestral family estate of the Guillard family, located in southeastern France on a scenic lake. Of course, in-game, it's now a deathmatch free-for-all map. With the fast-paced action of 8 players vying for victory and all trying to kill each other, it's easy to miss some of the finer details around the map. For starters, plenty of Easter eggs are spread about Widowmaker's study. Of note is the wedding picture of Widowmaker as Amelia and her husband, Gerard Lacroix. Well, ex-husband that is. He's dead now, killed by none other than his former lovely wife, Widowmaker, so hence the name. Previously, he had only appeared in her backstory as an Overwatch agent who spearheaded operations against Talon before she was brainwashed into killing him. Our only other hint at him was a simple spray from the Uprising event. On the desk in the study is an open laptop with an email in French that roughly reads,
Hello, Miss Guillard. We are confirming a limousine will meet you at the Nice Côte d'Azur airport at 21:30. The trip from Nice to Monaco will take approximately 30 minutes.
You can, of course, change the reservation at your convenience. We remain at your disposal for any other request. While next to that is a plane ticket for a Daniela Guillard, a name many have determined to be an alias used by Widowmaker since Amelia is considered dead and gone by the world. Next to the desk, you can find equipment from her work for Talon, including the case for her Widow's Kiss sniper rifle. These new items are in stark contrast with the rest of the manor's decor, which has seen better days. Paintings have been pulled from the walls themselves are in need of a new coat of paint, and dust and cobwebs are piling up in every corner. And it's in one of these cobwebs that a sharp eye can spot a lone Black Widow spider in the window adjacent to the study. Take a walk on the moon with the Horizon Lunar Colony. Showing up first in the Overwatch animation Recall, the Horizon Lunar Colony was home to our favorite gorilla, no, not Harambe, Winston, when he was younger and much smaller. Though parts are in disarray, you can still find references and lore clues scattered throughout the map. Over by the defense spawn, looking out the windows in the first room on the right, the American flag can be seen. This is of course a nod to the American lunar landing mission Apollo 11 and the first small steps taken by mankind. In the attacker spawn, players can see the bay that Dr. Harold Winston used to show a young Winston the Earth. Walking up to the telescope, players can interact with it and trigger a voice line from their selected hero, commenting about the view of the planet. Wandering around the spawn room, another room shows 3 screens showing security cameras paused on various ape antics. No new news on Hammond, the ape test subject voted most likely to have started the guerrilla uprising and most likely to have jettisoned the scientists into space. But emails found on screens throughout the map make it clear there was trouble brewing. They say, if you listen carefully, you can still hear player theories that Hammond will be the next playable Overwatch hero. Welcome to Junkertown. Junkertown became a fan favorite not only because of the fun short animation that was released alongside it, but also because it played very nicely. This sprawling city of scrap is home of the Outback's Junkers, as well as a place Junkrat and Roadhog call home. Well, they did, before they got kicked out. Signs of the two of them are literally all over the map, with posters reminding Junkertown residents to keep them out. That being said, the posters don't seem to be working too well. The Queen of Junkertown also makes an appearance on some tattered posters on the walls that fans immediately fell in love with. Other posters include Junker mechs, 2 of which can be seen in a garage ready to fight it out in the scrapyard. Now we know where Diva got her Junker skin from. Outside the city walls, a small collection of old shacks house the possessions connected with the 2 most infamous Junkers. The attackers spawn in a garage housing Roadhog's chopper as seen in the Moment in Crime special report. At the back, players can also find Roadhog's take-a-breather canisters and a refilling station. Junkrat's steel traps and grenades can be found in a hidden room to the left, as well as in a shack immediately to the right of the payload starting location. Jumping halfway around the world to Eichenwald. Another place decimated by the Omnic crisis was Eichenwald in Germany. The map is littered with debris and rusting Omnic units. Several Bastion units can be found overgrown with moss. If we look closely, we can see they have the same design as the Omnic crisis skin that can be unlocked for Bastion. Since release, the Overwatch animation Honor and Glory gave us the backstory for this map and has explored the story of the Crusaders who defended it. In it, we see a young Reinhardt carving his name into the bar in the attacker's spawn, while talking with his mentor Baldric von Alder, who has recently been invited to join the Overwatch Strike Force. Unfortunately, we all know that Reinhardt was on the Overwatch team, not Baldric, and with the map, we learn the fate of Baldric as well. At the final point of the map, players enter a castle throne room where destroyed Omnics and Baldric's Crusader power suit are scattered. The suit was added as 2 unlockable legendary skins for Reinhardt. The Overwatch medal Baldric gave Reinhardt can now be found next to Baldric on the throne. It was added after the Honor and Glory video came out showing Reinhardt placing it there. Some less somber Easter eggs include a pair of Diablo's horns mounted in the hunting shack and a menu with the item Kozakenziepfil. While the other items listed are real-world items such as cookies, cake, and coffee. That last one is not. It's actually a reference to a German comedy sketch about a husband and wife splitting over a fictional dessert item by the same name. A place even more dead than Eichenwald, we head to the Necropolis. This special map is a deathmatch-only map. Though Necropolis is an ancient Egyptian temple, it shows signs of life again. It houses a makeshift base for fugitive ex-Overwatch agents Ana Amari and Jack Morrison, aka Soldier 76. Ana's bed can be found in the uppermost room of the temple opposite the cliff, where players can spot a hologram of young Fariha Amari. Old pictures of the original Overwatch team with Ana, Gabe, and Jack Morrison, and a picture of young Fariha with Ana are also present. Seems like she's feeling particularly sentimental. Hopefully her past isn't haunting her too much these days, and that her sleep dart gun next to her bed is just there in case unwanted guests wander in the night. Below Ana's room, players can find a makeshift kitchen and a desk area where a computer is analyzing security footage of Reaper sightings around the world. At a workbench at the back of the room sits Ana's biotic rifle and some biotic grenades. Ana and Jack were both hunting Reaper independently, with the 3 clashing at Giza, Egypt near the Temple of Anubis map. The comic Old Soldiers showed Ana and Jack teaming up to fight Reaper, though he gets away from them in the end. In the comic Reflections, we can see Ana and Jack are still together in Egypt. With a slightly more Spartan setup, Soldier 76's gear can also be spotted in the team spawn left of the temple. A simple cot is set up next to a duffel bag marked Morrison, an open magazine with articles about Tracer and Sombra, a dumbbell, a heavy pulse rifle, and biotic emitters. You know, in case he ever wakes up in the middle of the night and needs something to read, feels like working out, or has a bunch of Talon mercenaries sent to kill him, all of which seem pretty likely actually. And of course, we can't miss pointing out the World of Warcraft horde symbol on the walls hidden in the hieroglyphs. Sombra's been busy in Castillo. A small deathmatch map filled with Easter eggs scattered about all over. Even the name Castillo itself is a reference. The reference is to Castillo Industries, a company based in the StarCraft universe. Both the company and the map were introduced to their respective games on the exact same day in separate patches. One of the team's spawn rooms is a bar that several Overwatch heroes apparently have passed through. You can clearly see McCree's iconic hat on the bar. McCree must have left it there after passing out on the bar as seen in the comic Reflections. You can also find several magazines and papers highlighting events happening in the Overwatch world, including Sombra-related events at Lumerico and Volskaya Industries. Katya Volskaya is pictured. Mindful players will remember that she was the target of a failed Talon assassination where Sombra had her own agenda to discuss with the CEO. On the table, a crudely drawn map outlines the bank robbery taking place on the Dorado map. It looks like Junkrat and Roadhog left behind some gear, so that must mean they're the brains of the operation, though that might be a little generous. Of course, they aren't the only band of misfits up to no good in these parts. The Los Muertos gang has also set up shop here. Several glowing sprays are located at the back of the map, along with crates of piñatas and guns. In the animation Hero, we see Soldier 76 disrupt Los Muertos' plans to smuggle guns in those crates. Finally, in the opposite spawn room from the bar, we can find one of Sombra's home bases. With high-tech computers and pads all around the room, it's clear that she's been busy. Though we couldn't hack into them ourselves, there's plenty to see around the room. Files can be found with pictures of Anna, Jack, and McCree mixed in with Lumerico documents. At the center of the room, a table has an incomplete translocator, which by the looks of it seems very similar to Tracer's Chronal Accelerator, by the way. Seems like Sombra maybe doesn't just steal information. One last subtle Easter egg is a bag of chips labeled Divas, a clear reference to gamer Diva's favorite snack, Doritos. Rounding out our map Easter egg hunt, we're closing on ECOPOINT Antarctica, which was once home to everyone's favorite ice queen, May. Along with other Overwatch scientists, she was stationed there for a time to research weather anomalies that were affecting Antarctica and the world. Unfortunately, a severe storm hit that forced them into a cryosleep that was supposed to keep them safe, but ended up putting them on ice for 9 years. Only May's pod was successful in keeping her alive until revival. This has been noted in May's backstory, though the map offered the first look at the base for players to explore themselves. With the Rise and Shine animation though, we finally got to see a message from May leading up to and May's actions after the storm hit. Spreading out across the map are handwritten notes left by May, noting her food supply, her birthday, and notes for possible repairs to the base. After the animation, the map was updated with more Easter egg nods to May's story. In front of May's open pod, you can find her Yeti slippers, while in front of the failed pods of her research team, coffee mugs are left in memorial. A poster and simple drawing featuring a Yeti are in there as well, likely referencing the Yeti Hunt Winter Wonderland event that was available in the arcade.
There's a more subtle reference on the map, the name of one of the researchers, McCready. This is a subtle double reference, if you will, as R.J. McCready is the name of an American helicopter pilot stationed at Antarctic Research Station, U.S. Outpost 31, in the movie The Thing. Spoiler alert, McCready dies in that movie too. R.J. McCready is also the name of a character in Fallout 4 who is voiced by Matt Mercer, voice actor for McCree. This is a reference wrapped in an Easter egg inside of another Easter egg,
which makes it a perfect Easter egg to end on. This concludes our roundup of the Overwatch Easter eggs on the post-launch maps. I'm your host, Alpha Lance, and thanks for watching The Leaderboard. What's your favorite Overwatch Easter egg? Did we miss any that you know? Comment below and let us know. Be sure to click the bell icon and become part of our notification squad. And of course, don't forget to subscribe to The Leaderboard, your home for video game facts.